Welcome to Ida's video channel. In this video, I'll show you how to adjust pipe slope and how to grade pipes. Let me go to profile view. I will clean up the profile view a bit so you can see better the pipes. I will go to profile view properties. The exercise I'm doing right now, I have already done in some other videos, but let me quickly recap that. So I will set the point style to no display. I will also set the point label style to none. And I will change the cover feature line to no display. Then I go to profile and I will turn off bulk water vertical alignment. Okay, so it is a bit cleaner. I will also delete this label because I want to work with those pipes between these structures. I would like to see what's the slope for those pipes. So I'm going to pipes, add pipe network labels, add pipe network labels. If you prefer using ribbons, you can go to ribbon annotate, add labels, pipe network, and use very first option, because the very first option offers you to select the proper style you want to use. I want to label the entire network in profile. For the pipes, I want to use the style which displays slopes. You can either choose percentage or rise over run. I will use the second option. Then for the structures, I don't want any labels. And for the crossing pipes, I don't want any labels. Then I click on add. And if I zoom in closer, I have a slopes in rise over run on my pipes. Now I want to grade the pipes. First thing I can do, or I can use to adjust pipes vertically, I can select the pipe, I can grab the grip point and move it up or down accordingly. If I want those two pipes to be linked together because there is no nice connection, I need to make sure that the grip points overlap. And now if I grab the grip point, both pipes will move. If I want to, let me move it a little bit to the side. If I want to, I can adjust the slope to be exact value. I can go to pipe properties. Then let me move it to the side. I can either specify that I want to hold start and I want to change the slope to, let's say, 6%. Unfortunately, because we have a rise overrun, we won't see the 6%, but we will see the rise overrun label. And you can see there's a disconnection for the next pipe, so I would need to adjust it. And I can also specify the slope backwards. So I can hold and I can go down by -7%. If I click apply, you will see the difference. Unfortunately, I need to come back and I need to adjust the incoming and outgoing pipe. Now, what if I want to, let me just finish that. What if I want to keep the constant slope from this structure, this scour valve, up to this air valve? How can I do that? Of course, you can measure the height, you can calculate the slope, and you can assign it to each and every pipe. But that would be quite time consuming to do. For that, you can rather use IDA's command, grade pipes. Select the command and follow the command line. It says select the start profile view structure. So I select the scour valve, and then it says select the end profile structure. I will select this air valve and it highlights the pipes in between. If it doesn't highlight the pipes in between, it means that you might have disconnected pipes. So you should make sure that all the pipes are connected to their structures. And then I follow command line. It says apply drop over start structure. I will use no for now, but later on I'll show you what it does. Then pipe match options. If you have a pipes with the different sizes, you may decide whether you want to match the sizes at crown, center or invert. I will use a crown. Then drop value over structure. I don't want any drop value. This is bulk water pipeline, so I use 0. And then it calculates the slope. In this case, the slope is -15. By the way, the convention in IDAS is that when we go up, it uses the positive value. When we go down, it uses negative value, because up, positive, we increasing the height, so it must be positive. But here, it is other way around. This is the old command, and that convention was not implemented yet here. So that's why it shows negative value. So one in -15, I will hit enter to confirm the slope. And if you get this message, it might be because IDAS accesses the IDAS database and it checks all the pipe networks. You can just close it because this is related to stormwater network and it won't appear the next time. So you can just confirm that window. And you can see if I escape that the slope was applied and it runs all the way through. By the way, if I look at this structure, there is no horizontal change in direction. I don't need that structure. So if I wish to, I can delete it. I can go to delete structure in profile view. I can select the structure. I can select the remaining pipe and I can have it like this. If I zoom out, the slope stays the same. Now let me show you another exercise. What I will do, I will move the first pipe down and the last pipe down like that. And I want to grade again. So I'm using grade pipes command. Then I select the first structure and the last structure. I will use the same settings. So I just hit enter and it calculates the slope. Now the slope is different, but I hit enter. And now what happened is that it checks the elevation of the first pipe and it uses it, and then it checks the elevation of the outgoing pipe and it will match the incoming pipe to the outgoing pipe elevation. So that's one option. Let me do the same again, but this time I will use a grade pipes and I will select the first structure and last structure. And as you can see, I will use drop over first structure. I will say yes, but the drop value is set to 0. So let me show you what it does. And the rest is the same. It calculates the slope and it matches both pipes at the incoming pipe and outgoing pipe. And it calculates the slope in between. If you don't want to calculate the slope, you can also specify your slope. Let me show you. You can go to grade pipes, select first structure, last structure, then apply drop over structure. In this case, it won't have any impact. I will say no, crown, drop over structure 0. But instead of 1 in minus 15, I will use 1 in minus 14. And then I hit enter. And as you can see, the pipes do have a slope 1 in 14. And finally, you can also grade the pipes backwards. Let me show you. I go to grade pipes command, but I will select the air valve first and the scour valve as second. Then I hit enter, enter, drop value over structure 0, but I want a slope 1 in 13, enter, and this is the result. Because I used drop over structure was set to no, so it keeps this elevation and it slopes the pipes in 1 in 13. And at the end, I must go and match the incoming and outgoing pipes with those other pipes like that. That is a manual process if you do it like this. Or you can just use a grade pipes command all the way through, so it will always connect those pipes because you can set whether you want the drop over start structure or not.